On March 19th, 2014, Melinda Hendinberger from the Washington Post came to the Burke Auditorium to talk to King's College students and Wilkes University students about women's sexual violence on college campuses today. Ms. Hendinberger then shared a story about a girl named Lizzie Seberg who was sexually assaulted by a Notre Dame football player a couple years ago and really sparked a revolution in Miss Hindenburg's life to cover stories about sexual assault victims on college campuses today. Lizzie's story really opened my eyes to the terrible causes of what could happen to a person who goes through sexual violence, crime, and who is a victim. Also, we found out later in the speech that Melinda Hindenberger was also a victim of sexual violence, and I almost wanted to stand up and clap for her that she is so open about her situation when she was raped. And she told us that she never reported it, which kind of confused me in a way because her whole speech was if something does happen, you need to report it. You have to. It will go down, and all the precautionary steps will be taken, and things will be handled correctly. But Miss Hendberger never reported it, and I kind of questioned her on that. But she did have a couple of great points about what college campuses should be doing to educate their students about how terrible sexual violence is on college campuses and how it really could affect anyone's life, a girl or a boy who gets sexually assaulted. Um, and she also had a couple great points of how colleges need to realize that they need to deal with the PR hits and the media hits that a major university or a small university such as King's will take if a student does get raped or two students involved or anything. That is not important right now. What is important is educating their students and having students who are more aware of the crimes and really ways to prevent the crimes. I thought a really crazy quote from Ms. Hindenburg's speech came from Lizzie's father. Then the quote was, "We need to move from a culture of compliance to a culture of commitments." Now, what I think he's saying is we say all these things and we take all these steps and we want to make our culture more aware of sexual violence crimes, but we need to do it. There needs to be a stop. Someone needs to put their foot down and say, this is stopping. And I am not going to do it anymore. I'm going to stand up for this. And I think colleges are doing a very good job of it. I remember my freshman year of spring or of summer football, we have a guy or had a guy named Pat Rushton who came in and talked to us about sexual violence on college campuses and how it really could affect our lives and the victims that who are affected by the sexual violence. And it didn't. I mean, I am not a person who is just to rape or anything like that, but it could have stopped the person from coming in and hurting someone in a way. And it really opened my eyes, and I learned a lot that day. And I think the King's College did a great job of educating all of us and really just saying, hey, if this happens, you could be in a lot of trouble, and it's just not right. It's just not right. Um, I thought Ms. Henderberg's speech was really informational. She was a very good public speaker, and I think she is on the right path of completing this educational journey of going to college campuses and informing people on Lizzie's story and other stories that happen all over the country. She also talked about a naval woman who's in the Navy right now who got sexually assaulted. And this was a story that really opened my eyes because this is the U.S. military going to a very high military school where this happened is just amazing to me. And I can't believe it did happen. I was always under the influence that midshipmen and with midshipwomen do not mix at all. Like, there's no way that they could hang out, but I guess I was wrong. And to hear what her treatment was after the crime happened was just terrible, and it made me feel terrible about what is really going on college campuses everywhere. But really, Miss Hendenberger's speech was very informational, and I thought she did a great job. But what I wanted to bring this point up, but I just didn't get up and say it, was that every situation in the media that has to do with women getting sexually assaulted or abused on campuses has to do with a major athlete from that college or that university. Why isn't the Joe Schmo, the normal dude who, is sexually assaulting girls on campuses, why aren't they brought up? What is the difference between a college football player sexually assaulting a girl and a normal Joe Schmo sexually assaulting a girl? I don't think there's any difference, and I don't think any media story should be picked up because just because he's a college football player, he's going to get so much more attention, and his story's going to get so much more attention than the normal guy doing the same thing. And I think the media needs to pick those stories up as well. But overall, I thought Miss Hendinberger's speech was really, really great. I thought people were asking really smart questions in the crowd, and I really enjoyed doing this project. I am one to voice my opinion more than to write anything down on a piece of paper, and I love looking at my face on camera. So, I mean, don't you? But it was a great speech, and I really had a great time doing this, and I would definitely do it again.